evening friends, and in this video we are going to create a new structure called the complex. Since you are all studying mathematics or maybe in the 11 12 or engineering, so you must be knowing that the complex number is a number of the form a plus ib. It has two real parts, two integer values or real values, you can say a and b, and it's always represented in the form of a plus ib. In C, we do not have any variables which can be called. In Python, you have a variable called complex. But in C, you do not have any such mechanism. So we have to create a variable. And now see how beautifully I'm trying to create. I just create, this is called the user defined arrays, matrices, 2D arrays, single arrays, character arrays, and this one structure. These are called the user defined variables. They are made up of the primitive data variables, and together they represent something better, and that is a unique variable called the user defined variable. So here I have a structure. So struct complex int real, int imaginary. So int takes 4 bytes, and another int also takes 4 bytes. So complex is a object which just have the 8 byte of memory space. So now I create two mechanisms just to input the thing functions. So void input, I'll pass a structure to them. So this always you need a keyword struct complex, and then the identifier for that variable is called cr. So this is the input functions, and I'll write the print /n enter real part, because complex number is 3 plus 4i. So 3 is real and 4 is imaginary. So let's see how this one can be achieved. So we first enter this integer value for the real part of that particular complex number, and it is cr dot. Cr is the object of the structure, and cr dot real means with the help of cr and the dot operator I'm trying to access the variable, primitive variable real. And now here I copy, so because this is for real part and this is for imaginary part. So I just copy one more variable. So say enter imaginary part, and there will be cr dot image, imag, the way I have defined into the complex real and image, both integer types. That's why the format specifier is again %d. So now in this function we need a show function also. See, begin show function will try to write this whole in the form of a plus ib. So in a plus ib means how this one can be achieved, because a is the real part. So it just we have to do concatenation with a plus ib. So %d and then plus. So let's see how I'm still trying to do that. So %d, this is for the first real part, plus %d imaginary part, and then I. So look at %d real part, imaginary part, and then I together. And then for first percentage we need the real part, that is cr dot real and cr dot. So cr address is not required because I'm just printing cr dot real comma cr dot imag, like image, imaginary, short form of imaginary I have written like this. So now this is done. In the main functions I have already created one object, struct complex c1. Now see how you can input the value, just like you are passing this c1 to the input function, and inputting will be done there, and then it will have a show function just to see whether the input function has done its job completely or not. So I just saved the file as something, and okay, the extension was cpp, and just I'm trying to make it purely C, so I just go for .c extension. So here, so now let's see whether it is. So image 12, oh, output is disturbed. Why? Because c1 passed there and taken as cr, and there should be some mechanism that after inputting, the input function should return the object of that type. like for CR only, then you can see that you can find that object and that object will be initialized, because this is called by value, it's not by call by reference, because we are not passing the address of the structure object, we are just passing call by value. So it will be returning, and now see, so the C1 is passed, and then whatever input function returns, that will overwrite the content of C1, so the C1 become proper. Now 12 plus 34, here it is 12 plus 34 I. So the complex number input and the show function have been initialized. Now same way you can initialize many complex number, and you can create the add function, you can find the modulus of a complex number, whatever you want. So I just try to do something. This is another function I'm trying to create. Struct complex means it will also be returning one object of the structure complex type, and it just takes its add function, so it will take two complex number and struct complex C1 and struct complex C2, whatever x, y, C1, C2, because these C1 declared in the main functions are local for that main function, and if it is declared here, that will be local for this function. This is called the scope of variables. So here I have taken two variables. First I have named it x, and second I have named it C2. I am trying to create another object, struct complex CC. So you can create anywhere from inside the function, because the structure is just on the top, that is kind of global variable. So cc dot real plus c1 dot c2 dot imaginary. So this x does not make any sense, I'll change it later. So cc dot imaginary is c1 dot imaginary plus c2 dot imaginary, and then the return the cc function, cc object, sorry, cc return cc, that is object. So it is done here. Now I'll create one more object, C1, C2, and I guess one more, that is C3. So that also should be initialized. So C2 equal to input C2, and C3 will be initialized by call of the add function. So I'll pass C1 and C2. And then I'll show C3. So now let's see. SCR clear screen functions. Error. Okay, so there should not be X, it should be C1. And then what was the second error? So let's see, override, yes, save the function. One more error, what is that? Missing semicolon. Yeah, this bracket is not required, parenthesis, remove it, run it again. Then any error? Okay, looks better. One error, what is that? SCR. Oh, so there is spelling wrong in this. It should be CLR SCR. CLR SCR. CLR SCR. So here it goes. Now everything, I hope that is good, and yes. So now I run it again, and now enter the real part for the first complex number 2 3 and 3 2. That will better. I can expect 5 5. Yes, here it is. 5 5 is done. Now I can create some more functions like finding the modulus of the complex number, finding the amplitude or argument of a complex number, and if any math functions are required, then you just can include the math.h header file and can simply use the functions defined in them. So here I just try to find the modulus, and the return type of this function is modulus, because the modulus of complex number 5 5 is under root 5 square plus 5 square. The complex number modulus is under root real part square plus imaginary part square in the SQRT. So we need SQRT function for that, and this always gives you SQRT function, normally gives you a double value, so that's why we have made the return type as double. So double equal to, I need to include one more file called as math.h. So here hash include math.h. And now let's see, hope is good. So there it goes. And math dot, no, it's normally math dot is Java syntax. It should be just math. Okay. Sometimes, because we practice so many different kind of programming languages, sometimes we get confused. But if you start writing code for one programming language for 2-3 days, then you will come into the rhythm of that particular programming language. When you change again to another programming language, you will find, oh, so again, because it just takes some time to you can say sweep from one domain to another, then mine takes time. So now here's return and this I will be printing from this main functions. So I already have this show 3 function. I can say print, and from within the print I will just print, because it's going to be a double value. So modulus equal to percentage f, because that is the format specifier for the double values. And then I will just call the functions from here only. So just call the modulus, modulus. No, it's not lus, it is las. So I have to change it. Yes, it's modulus. So here I change. Okay, now everything looks good. So let's run it. Oh my god, one error. What they're saying? Oh, mass dot function, it should be normal sqrt. No, there should not be any doubt. But since you are teaching, then you can just have some doubt sometimes. You can allow doubt to take over the control of your brain, and then you can remove the doubt. Here it goes, this is proper. So yes, no warning, no errors. Now run it, and here you will, OMG. So again, one function, again same thing, clear screen. So here it goes, and I remove this clear screen CLR. So save it again. Whenever you make changes in the file, save it again. And now here it goes, this is a structure, and we are just at the end of our C programming tutorial, because no one works with the C file. We'll just approach the C++ file for that. And now here everything looks good. So this is all. Just subscribe to our channel and keep on learning, friends. This is a powerful tool. Have a very nice day.